Thank you, Shorter, for joining us here today. We have Lanear McCrary, Jr., running back, Zach Morrison, head coach, and Jahseim Henry, defensive end. Coach, if you just want to open with some opening remarks, and then we'll get into some questions.
Yeah, just extremely blessed to be here today. Excited about this upcoming season. You know, we get to be different at Shorter University. Our mission is transforming lives through Christ. So we get to follow the Great Commission, but also we get to play an elite level of football, and playing in Conference Carolina is just a joy for us. We're really looking forward to this season. 29 seniors, 27 juniors, over 100 guys on campus right now. They've been doing voluntary workouts. They're bought in. They love it. They're ready, and we're just excited for this first season for Conference Carolinas in 51 years.
And just jumping right into it, Coach, the head guy at your alma mater, how has being a player helped prepare you to become the head coach?
I mean, I think that you understand the dynamic and you understand the workload as well. So there's been some things that even when I was a player that I said, man, I really, I grew, I learned a lot, but also we did workouts in the spring in the AM, whereas if it's postseason, I want these guys to get some rest. We're going to lift in the afternoon. So there's been some stuff where I'm like, I really didn't like that. Let's adapt it. Let's change it. And we have a leadership council, so I always ask them their opinion on, things that we can alter, things that we can change. Some things we can, some things we can't. But I think as a player, you understand the workload, you understand the dynamic behind being a student athlete, because at the end of the day, the goal is that degree.
Absolutely. Take us inside that leadership council. What does the communication look like amongst them and then between you and your staff with them?
So leadership council-wise, I've got 10 guys on the council. We meet once a week, and in the spring, we do a book study. So we do a book study on leadership. I'm a big John Gordon fan. Power Positive Leadership is what we read. So we read through John Gordon. We do a devotion every week as well, and then I challenge them to get with their drafted teams, because we draft as well, and they're going to go through those devotions with them. They're going to go through some of those leadership training that we did, and they're building that relationship. Because at the end of the day, you got the offensive linemen that are always going to be with the offensive line. They're going to hang out together all the time. But in the sense of these leadership teams, we've got guys from every position on offense and defense that are on each team. So they get to build relationships with guys on their side of the ball, on the opposite side of the ball, with specialists. So relationships is key for us. That's the foundation of the program. Phil Jones was my head coach 2005. He was there for 10 years as the head coach. And I still remember the first day walking into the gym, and Phil Jones says, we're building this program on relationships with each other, the coaches, the administration, the community, most importantly, with relationship with Jesus Christ.
How has Phil poured into you since you've taken over this program?
So he is the reason I'm here. I think that I walked into Shorter as a finance major or accounting finance, I don't know, something in the business world, and one semester playing for him. You always have one of those coaches, whether it's high school, college. Sometimes it's that person made just such a huge impact on me, and he was that person. And after one semester playing at Shorter, I said, I'm going to coach for the rest of my life. And that became a calling for me, because I could give back to others what he gave to us, because it wasn't just him talking about character, it's how he lived his life. Right. It's how he lived his life in serving Christ as well. So.
Absolutely, and relationships are important as well. Coach Harlan Jacobs has been with you for about 4 or 5 seasons now. How would you describe the relationship that you have with him?
Yeah, so Coach Jacobs going into his 6th season, but I actually interviewed him 8 years ago. So I interviewed for a job. He was at Notre Dame College. Didn't end up getting him at that point, but just the fact of we trust each other. He's the associate head football coach too, so if there was anything like I'm away for a couple of days, he's in charge back in the office. So it's a trust, it's a foundation that we have, and I tell people all the time, like Coach Jacobs and I, it's a brotherhood. What we do is what we do anyway is a fraternity, and that's why the relationships, even with the coaches at the other schools, the head coaches of the other schools, we're asking questions, we're trying to feed off each other, we're learning from each other. How are you doing things? How do you have those guys on campus? What about the season? What about travel? I mean, what we do is a fraternity, but having those guys in house that you can trust, that you can lean on, that you can count on, it's just so impactful.
How have you seen what you're doing as a brotherhood pour out onto the campus of Shorter, going into a new conference and then just bringing football back for Conference Carolinas?
I think what we're doing on campus is almost been, it's, in my opinion, it's been almost a revival. Last year we had 60 plus kids give their life to Christ. We had over 36 baptisms. A lot of them were on the field, and that's pouring into the community with community service, with everything else. I think that what the Conference Carolina stands for, what they stand for and who they are, is exactly who Shorter University is, and being different and standing out. We want to stand out. We want to be different. We're called to be different, and they know that. And I think in the football realm, man, these guys, they're different, and they work their tails off, and they continue to show that they want it. They continue to show accountability. You know, what we talk about yesterday, we had a conversation about the pillars: faith, attitude, toughness, and effort. We're going to stand on faith first, and the attitude. Man, we check body language every day, in the office, in the weight room, on the field. Man, I see guys walking to class, I'm like, body language, right? Toughness, man, how they fight, how that grit and effort, how they finish everything. So that's what we challenge them to do every single day. And I think that we align just perfectly with Conference Carolina. That's why we're so excited about this upcoming year.
Absolutely. Very well said as well. And just jumping over to the football side of things, briefly touch on the competition that you're seeing in your quarterback room.
Quarterback room, we've got Michael Rich. He's a grad transfer from West Florida. And then we have Jeb Walls, really getting the 1 reps right now and kind of learning and growing together. We have Gage Neesmith, who's a redshirt freshman, and then we have 3 freshmen that are coming in as well. So we'll see how those guys kind of fight through fall camp. But it's not just that room. We've got multiple rooms. I mean, we've got 5 running backs that can really get after it, Lanear being one of them. In that room, Lanear will have a couple years of eligibility left, but if there's 2 seniors that'll be fighting, scratching, and clawing for time. We've got guys on the offensive line, some starters, some guys that were role players, and some freshmen that we're really excited about in fall camp. So really everywhere. When you have 29 seniors, you have a lot of old guys, 27 juniors, you have a lot of old guys, but then you also have a really good recruiting class, and you have those freshmen from last year that are coming back. So it's really going to be fun going through. August 4th is move-in. The 6th is the first day of practice. We play Anderson at home on August the 30th. So just, yeah, I mean, there's competition everywhere.
Heavy presence of veterans on this team. Like you said, 29 seniors, 27 juniors. What does their commitment tell you about the culture that you've created?
I mean, what we do in July is voluntary. So the fact that we do have some guys taking classes, I think there's around 65 guys on campus taking class, but then having an extra 30 to 40 guys that live within that hour and a half come in the afternoons. Man, they're doing workouts. They're going through field work. They're learning together. They're growing together. We're doing team building exercises, and we're doing some stuff on in the evenings in the middle of the week. So I think that it shows their commitment. It shows that they're wanting to hold people accountable. And do we have everyone there? No, we don't have everyone there. There are some guys that I'd love to be there, but some of them have jobs in the summer. Some of them are taking online classes. Some of them have some stuff going on. So, but in the sense of most of these upperclassmen, man, they are leading by example in who they are and what they're doing day in and day out. And I think that's what makes this team special.
Absolutely. And on the defensive side of the ball, last season, your defense held opponents to a 36.36 conversion on 4th downs. Break down the pressure that you see your defense put on other quarterbacks.
You know, we only lost an interior defensive lineman. Tony Bethea was one of our team captains. Devon Lane, another captain, was an inside linebacker, and we lost a corner in Trey Thomas. In terms of our starters, we returned 22 players on defense that have viable playing time. So a lot of starters are back, but also a lot of guys that have playing time on defense. So I think the fact that we're going to get pressure. We have a brand new. There's a couple new coaches on both sides of the ball, but a new D-line coach played at West Georgia, coached at West Georgia, and Malcolm Mercer, new offensive coordinator on the offensive side of the ball, new running back coach. We've done some moving and shifting in terms of staff, but I know that Coach Mercer is going to get the D-line ready. Coach Jacobs, scheme-wise, man, it's pretty special what he does.
And then last question for you, Coach. How does that success on defense translate to success on offense?
I think that, and we actually talked about it last night, these two guys and myself, it's just a lot of times the offense feeds off the energy from the defense. Mm-hmm. Man, they really, there's some juice. There's some guys that bring a lot of excitement. And there's some vocal guys on defense as well. But they feed off the success of the defense because they know they got a big stop. Man, we can go out and score this drive. So I think that it's just we're feeding off each other, and I think the offense and the defense, I think there's going to be some really good competition in fall camp, but at the end of the day, they love each other. Man, they trust each other, and they hold each other accountable.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach. And Lanear, coming over to you, talk about the leadership that you're bringing into that running back room.
So for me, I've played as a freshman, I've played as a sophomore, got a lot of burn, but I'm not really a vocal leader, but God has blessed me with the leadership of leading by example. So for the young kids and even the older ones, I just try to lead by example. At times, you have to be vocal, but I'm more of a lead by example type guy. And, all the other running backs, they'll ask questions, or I can even ask them questions. So it's all like a brotherhood, I can lead them, they can lead me. And I'm just like thankful that they actually listen to me and look up to me as somebody they can trust.
Absolutely. And you've had scattered playing time, like you just mentioned, all throughout your tenure at Shorter. How have you been able to stay focused and prepared to be able to execute?
Really just the coaches. My freshman year, we had Tyree Devison as a running back coach. He really taught me a lot, and he kept it real with you like every time. So I was really thankful for him to take me under his wing. We had Johnny Deedle, who really taught me a lot of stuff too. And then our new coach who just came in, I've only been with him for about 2 or 3 weeks, but I've learned a lot. He Coach Glenn, he's really attention to detail. He wants you to know every little detail and why things happen, and he just coaches you every little point. And I'm just thankful because football is like a game of inches, so you got to know every little detail.
What have you really worked on, either with Coach Glenn or just kind of on your own in the film room in this off season, to sharpen or just to go out and execute a little bit better?
So in the off season, I really just been doing a lot of training, a lot of speed training, but also trying to take care of my body as possible. Football is a game of survival of the fittest, so I've been trying to take care of my body a lot. But just like I said with Coach Glenn, just every little detail, staying close to your blockers when you're running, or how many steps you take on this route. It's just a lot of attention to detail that I'm thankful that I have a mentor to really teach me different things.
Take us inside the running back room and kind of just describe the versatility, because as a unit, all receivers last season combined for 1,700 yards.
So the diversity, we have David Hill, big power back. A lot of people don't want to tackle him. He's a really good addition. You have Charles, who can run and catch out of the backfield. He's an older guy, so he's been at different schools, so he picks up on things very well, and he knows a lot of different things. Carlos Mann, he's just a worker. He's a grinder. He's gonna give you what he has, and he's a little lighter, but he runs really hard. He's quick, and then like me, I'm medium size. Sometimes I'll run downhill, sometimes I'll juke and catch out the backfield. So it's we all have different strengths that help us. We have Flip Murray. He's really good too. He's an older guy, good vision, stuff like that. So we all just complement each other and help each other out with different things.
And then last question for you, Lanear. What is the energy like in that running back room?
We just want to be the best team. We want to be the best group possible on the team. As a unit, we want to be good, but we want to be the best possible unit. We want to be the most hard workers, the fastest, the strongest. We got to bring the energy, because if you look at the offense, the most returners and the people who has most experience is all the running backs. So we got to be the people to bring the juice. We have game experience. So yeah, we're practicing on air right now, but when pads come on, we got to be the ones that try to lead each other and help each other, because we have the game experience that maybe some of our quarterbacks and receivers and O-line really doesn't have. So we just got to bring the energy and the juice.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And Jahseim, coming over to you, last season you finished with 23 total tackles, 6.5 for losses. How do you feel you grew as a defender throughout the year?
Oh, man. Throughout the year, we had the esteemed Coach P. I had really a lot of mental blockades that year, so for me to just hear you say those stats is surprising to me. But I feel as though I really started to become really that true anchor on the edge of the defense, and really in myself taking pride of keeping contained and actually just being a fearsome presence to quarterbacks, knowing that guys actually have to look out for me when I do walk on the field, and knowing that when I'm not on the field that there is a huge discrepancy across the entire defense. So I just know that my guys, they depend on me, and I want to be there every time that I can.
Touch on those mental blockades just a little bit. How are you able to overcome them, and how are you mentally preparing for this season?
I wasn't. Ironically enough, I wasn't able to overcome them. I had to go through it. I had to experience great loss last semester, and the same day, ironically, that I experienced that loss, these guys, they voted me captain. So ever since then, I just felt like I owed them every ounce and drop of passion and soul that I had to give back to them and being the best leader I can. And over the winter break, I've kind of really reconciled and started my grieving process with that, got some therapy, and just realized that these guys voted me for who I am and not what the expectation is. What I am is enough for them, and that made me want to just do better for them.
That's incredible and really well said. Touch a little bit on your captaincy, what an honor that is for you, and just how you've been able to lead.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's nothing but an honor. It's the greatest award known to mankind, to be voted by your peers, for them to choose you to lead them into any war is the greatest accomplishment you can ever have. My goal is to help these younger guys not do the knucklehead things I did when I was growing up. That's literally it. But through that, I really just want to be somebody I never had. We touched a little bit yesterday on the type of leadership I have, and I used one word to describe it, which was redeemer. And I always want these guys to know like they have a chance with me, because I remember what it felt like to not have a chance or mess up in the slightest way and have the most drastic consequence for that. But for them, I just always want them to have hope, and as long as that hope is there, that they know that they can overcome anything with me.
That's awesome, and I'm sure that gives your teammates a lot of confidence in just coming to you about anything on and off the field. Going forward into this year, how do you stay sharp, especially if you're rotating in or playing situational downs?
I stay sharp just knowing that when I do get on the field, like I said, that discrepancy isn't there anymore. So I wouldn't really see a reason for me to step off the field. But if that is the case, then I know that I can only give 100% when I'm at 100%. And if I am off the field, whether it's to recover or to let a young guy get playing time, then that's so be it. But I know when I do get on the field that I know that I'm the best fit for the defense on the field at that moment in time, and I'll give 100% of what I have.
You're pouring into your teammates. Coach pours into you off the field as well as on the field, taking anyone who wants to go to church and just being there for all of life's biggest and worst moments. How would you describe Coach?
Oh, man. I would describe him as definitely as a mentor, number one, for sure, especially in aspects that I didn't have growing up, as far as being just an example of what it is to be a father, what it is to be a husband, a man in a committed relationship, just an outstanding role model. He's great with numbers, just somebody that can teach you financial literacy if that's something that you're interested in. Just all around, just a well-rounded man, a great guy, and he's been such a wonderful impact in my life. I know when I didn't have anywhere to go, I came to him and he welcomed me with open arms. So to that, I tip my hat off, because I don't know a lot of people that would do that.
Absolutely. Filling the team with a lot of love, I can see. And just one more fun question for you. What is your favorite kind of play to make?
Oh, sack the quarterback. Easy. Easy. Yeah, get the guys riled up, get the team riled up, or force an interception. And now I'm in the head. I'm in his head bad. So.
Okay, I lied. So follow up.
Oh.
Give me the celebration when you sack the quarterback.
Oh, they make fun of me. Well, the D-line guys, Kavonte Vaughns and the Kobe Spurrier. But it's just a little inspiration from LeBron James, just to tap the chest, and then a little Montez Sweat after. I got that from Mikey Meadows. So it's a combination.
There you go. Thank y'all.
This is Conference Carolinas.